Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we are talking about my travel coffee setup. Today I will show you what I take with me for when I travel, when I go for holidays, how do I caffeinate myself when I'm out there. Kind of a relaxed video. We will brew some coffee, we'll taste some coffee. I was supposed to record this video on my actual holidays, but I was too drunk every day or I was not able to do so. For me, what constitutes a perfect coffee setup? Something relatively simple, and it has to be relatively light. My luggage is limited, I often fly, so I don't want to take too much. When I'm on holidays, I like to brew pour-overs. Pretty much every hotel has a cup, every hotel has some sort of electric kettle, so I don't have to carry that with me. This year, I took with me this. So that's the Orea E01, also known as Baby Orea. Although nothing special, it is pretty much a perfect solution for when you travel. Look how tiny it is. So it's great for 1 cup of pour over. It has that white opening at the bottom. It is made out of BPA-free plastic. It actually feels very solid. It is thick. They based this one on the glass brewer that you can get on Orea website. And you may say, okay, it's small, but it's not that much smaller than the previous Orea. I thought the same until I put them side by side. The main difference apart from the size, this is a 1 unit. The holder does not come off, while with this one you choose different holders, different colors, but they come separately. Obviously the opening is different. One downside of this one is that the opening is small. With gooseneck kettle no problem, but when you use regular kettle it is a bit trickier to navigate. Sometimes the water ends up outside. There are some nuances, some differences in the taste, but to be honest, if I was doing blind taste I would not be able to spot which is which, especially when I'm on holidays, especially when I'm waking up in the morning with a massive hangover. Fruitiness, sweetness, pleasantness, that's what Orea is aiming for. Talking about Orea website, each time I go there I want to buy something new. Yes, I paid for this brewer and for my all other Orea brewers, but because I'm so awesome and so famous, Orea gave me a very generous discount. So thank you very much, Orea. This particular brewer currently $34.99. If you want some filters, you will pay obviously extra. It would work with some round papers, but you would need a negotiator for that, so that's extra spending. Or they recommend those kind of a Kalita style filters. Now, yesterday when I was preparing myself for this video, I was scrolling to the website and I end up buying another set. It will arrive maybe in a month or so. Yes, you have to wait for most of the brewers because apparently they are so popular they cannot keep up with the demand. I ordered this, so that's the Z1 Travel Pack bundle, which cost $84.99. I like the products, I don't like the prices. If any one of you already got it, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Now, when you're in that holiday mood, relaxed atmosphere, you don't really need to measure your things. You can kind of calculate how 15, let's say 15 grams of coffee looks like, and you can eyeball it, but I like to take my scale, especially since I got my Bookoo. Look how tiny it is, look how small it is. It also comes with the carrying case, so the scale is protected. So we have a scale, we have a brewer, we have filters, we need a grinder. For years I was saying that when you travel, hand grinder is the best solution. And I think that's a correct approach. But when I travel, either with family or friends, everybody expects me to make them a coffee. This year I decided to take an electric grinder and I went for this one. So that's the Timemore Millab E01 grinder. I have a full review of this grinder. I will put the links in the description. I think I was slightly too harsh with this review. This grinder, very good grinder. You get that fruitiness, you get that acidity, you get some flavor notes, you get lots of clarity. Weighs around 1 kg. You don't have a carrying case, but you have a carrying pouch, so grinder is protected from scratches. Inside here you will find 42mm conical burrs. This rechargeable lasts you for long. They say maybe 130 pour-over grinds if you use 15 grams of coffee. For espresso, that battery would allow you to grind for maybe up to 30 shots of espresso, 20-gram shots of espresso. One downside is that it comes with that old-fashioned click system at the bottom. The biggest advantage here is that, well, I don't have to do hand grinding. The disadvantage is it takes a bit more space, it is heavier, it can be slower than some other top-end hand grinders, and it's also not cheap if you compare it with hand grinders. Currently I see the price of £238 plus shipping. For that price you can get K Ultra, which is arguably one of the best hand grinders. I don't know about you, but when I'm on holidays I always like to take with me some special coffee. This time I took coffee from Clifton Coffee Roasters, like the rare variety of coffees, but I used all of that, so I cannot show it to you today. Instead we are going for this. So that's the Artisan Roast Coffee Roasters. This comes from the subscription plan. 6 times a year they release some very rare super duper special coffees that cost a lot, and I'm silly enough to pay for that subscription. They even score a Cup of Excellence in Mexico. I'm not sure exactly who decides which coffee gets a Cup of Excellence. I don't even really know what Cup of Excellence is, but they got it, so it must be good. Let's see what we can get. Obviously when you're out there you would not use a carafe, you probably would not have a nice glass cup like this one either. Cheers! This coffee, as a pour-over, it reminds me a bit of Jamaican Blue Mountain. Very mild flavors, but very well balanced flavors. You get apricots, you get some fruity acidity, nothing too much. But you may say, Jack, we are real men and real men drink espresso only. Even when we travel, we want espresso shots. We don't care about your bloody pour-overs, we don't care about your Oreas and so on. Okay, I hear you. Over the years I tested many different travel espresso setups. I had Flair Pro 2, I had Flair Go, I had Wakako Pico Presso. What I would say is that with espresso, doesn't matter how you pull it, when you're out there it's too much faff. But if I had to choose something for, again, for simplicity and something that is easy to travel with, I would go for something like this. So that's the Outin Nano brewer. This brewer by itself, it's slightly taller but lighter than the Timemore grinder. It comes with the pressurized filter basket, so it's easier to dial in. Not only that, but it can brew coffee with cold water. It heats up the water to about 92-ish degrees Celsius, and then it brews coffee for you. Something that I would also recommend if you go for that Outin, metal basket instead of that plastic basket that it comes with. And that metal basket, it's bigger, so you can load more coffee. You can put 16 grams of coffee in, 15-16 grams of coffee easily. Slightly trickier to dial in for this metal basket than for this plastic one, but the results very close to what you get from espresso machine. The main difference between this machine and your regular espresso machine is that you don't get that much of the body. But the flavor notes are there. Slightly flatter, slightly thinner, but when you travel, very acceptable. If you are still here, that means you are a big fan of the show. Definitely click like, consider subscribing, plenty more things coming. I think maybe next week we will experiment with this new espresso soup. Lots of people are talking about it right now. Let's try, let's see, let's play with coffee. That's what we are doing here. In the comments, please let me know what is your favorite travel setup, what grinder you take with you, or maybe you even take pre-grind coffee. If so, I will obviously ban you from my channel. But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack, this is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you, bye!